Greetings, Banff Warriors. Greetings. Greg is here. So are you. Another life lesson on the Results Kill Excuses channel. A place where I put together messages, advice, guidance, and even medicine for life, doing life, living life. Through the lens, through the experience of having going on 14 years of sobriety, lots of therapies, trying to figure myself out, right? Trying to figure out the mysteries to it all. The mysteries to it all, this whole experience called life. And I'm recording this as I look at the clock, and it's 3:27 a.m. I woke up at 2:30 a.m. Yes, it was a chosen time to wake up. I could already feel your cringes. What? Wait, what is going on? 2:30? Already out and about at 3:28. And I'm grateful for having the ability to get up early, to not allow the early rise of a new day to be something, a condition that intimidates me, that creates fear in me, that makes me feel like this is too hard, I can't do it. Or to even have limiting beliefs that sound something like, I'm just not a morning person. I'm just not a morning person. You don't have to be a morning person to seize the day, to seize the moment, to allow for the morning to be an opportunity for you to truly take control over your life, take control over what's going to unfold for you on any given day of life. I feel like I first learned about the 0 Dark 30 when I was a kid. It was in the summers going fishing. There's a saying, the early bird gets the worm. And when it came to fishing, the earlier that we were out on the water, it felt like the more fish we caught, versus when we would be leaving by 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and people were coming in, and the fish, you could tell that fish, that frenzy, that feeding frenzy was already shut off. And yet, our live wells, our baskets were full. I also remember waking up at 0 Dark 30 as a kid to go skiing in the winter. And some of those experiences can prove to be pretty treacherous. And why am I talking about this right now? Why am I recording a video at 3:28, 3:30 in the morning? Because I truly do believe that the morning holds mysteries to your greatest potential. It holds the key to some of the limitations, to some of the untapped potential that you have yet to actually activate within your own life. Recently, I did something for myself. And primarily it was for my inner child. I talk a lot about connecting and reparenting with the inner child here on the channel. And one of the things that I loved to do as a kid was fishing. And ever since the pandemic, I feel like the time out on the water had been diminished, at least with intention. Now, part of that was because I had shifted my nutritional values over the past 5 years. I went from being a carnivore Western diet into complete drastic transformation of eating a vegan plant-based diet. And I'll tell you what, changing that nutrition changed my entire life. It was one of the biggest shifts that I've had along this healing journey, actually. And last summer, I felt like I was pushing my resistance training to such a high degree that I needed more protein. And so I incorporated beef into my diet, and it felt good. It felt good in my body. And I haven't really had too much regret in terms of incorporating that back into my diet. I still crave and I still desire plant-based foods, a lot of greens, and a lot more greens, because that's where the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients, the superfoods are packed into. But to get back to what I'm trying to share here as a message for today, which is really about the morning. It's about having a morning routine. It's about valuing your morning. And the morning really starts with the night before, the day before. A lot of people, if you've been somebody that's struggled having a morning routine, and by a morning routine, I'm specifically talking about having a mindfulness practice in the morning, a reflecting practice. Some of the things that I love to do first thing in the morning is I burn some sage, I put on some positive affirmations. I like to reflect and journal. I like to do some breath work. I like to really connect with my body, connect with myself, set some intentions on the day, set some goals for the day, some things to really visualize and work towards, versus just going about each and every day on a whim, hoping that things work out. And it's like, hope is a 4-letter word. And in this world, if you want to get ahead, you need to assert yourself. And I'm not saying wake up at 2:30 in the morning, but if you're somebody that's considering starting a morning practice, it starts with the night before, your evening routine. And one of the biggest things that has set me up for success has been the fact that over 15 years ago, 16 actually, more than 16 years ago, going on 17 years, I stopped any kind of television subscriptions. Not even Netflix. I don't even do Netflix for myself. I don't need it. And for a lot of people, that right away is like cringeworthy, like, whoa. And it's just like, I just realized that tube time was a major drain of precious resources. And that is the time to be able to focus. And really, I turned off my television 16 years ago, coming off of 2008, 2009, which was a massive economic collapse in this country, a crisis that I survived. Didn't survive it unscathed, I'll tell you that much. I was living in Southern California at the time. I had a successful promotional products company. I was living a dream life. I was bringing in, almost 7 figures, having over 7 figures worth of real estate holdings in my 20s, and starting a family. And yet the economy fell off the cliff. And there was an absolute economic collapse. And in that timeline, I had to recalibrate, I had to reassess, I had to regather myself as to how was I going to get through this. And a big part of it was living by my mantra, go big or go home. And I landed up having to pack up a young family at the time. And by young, I mean I was married for probably about 12 years at the time, and I had a 2-year-old daughter and a 3-month-old son. My son is 16 now. He's literally the benchmark for this time of life. But I turned off the television because we knew that there was bad things happening all around us, and we knew that we had to have a plan to be able to weather the storm. Do you have plans for how do you weather the storms? Are you in a crisis right now? Do you have a plan, or are you just waking up and wishing that things are going to get better? Maybe today's the day, maybe today's the day. I hope it's the day. Well, I hope for all that for you too. I send you those types of blessings, but I do know that through my experiences, having weathered a total financial collapse, right? Didn't kill me, didn't crush me. Having weathered the expiration of a 21-year marriage and getting back up, picking myself off, having lost everything to rebuild myself, having hit a rock bottom, which really has led me to the 13 years plus of sobriety, of healing, of spiritual awakening throughout my life, right here, right now. I come with so much experience, and yet I've applied so many of these lessons, and I continue to apply these lessons to my own life, first and foremost, each and every day. And one of the most important things is the morning, winning the morning. And in order to win the morning, it's going to sound like a broken record, you got to be able to win and have an evening routine that isn't scrolling or tubing out until you crash out. It's literally giving yourself 15 minutes, 20 minutes of putting on some soothing frequencies, some 432s or some 532 frequencies that shift your mind and start to allow you to release some stress. Because as you lay your head down, if you're still just, if you've been distracted all day and working all day and overwhelmed all day, and as you lay your head down, if you're anything like me, when I'm stressed, it's like that's when the button gets clicked. That's when the switch gets flipped. And guess what happens? The thinking starts. And then you're tossing and turning and restless all night, wondering why you can't get a good night's sleep. And so usually you can even have a journaling routine happen at the end of the night. So all those things that you're trying to think of, this is a pro tip. Write those things down, the worries, the fears, the doubts, the things. And that just happens by you just closing your eyes, doing some breath, 5 minutes with a piece of paper and a pen, and then just jotting down the thoughts, the worries, the doubts, and just getting it out of here, putting it on paper. Maybe you start working some solutions, but maybe you just download it. And then maybe that's what you pick up first thing in the morning in terms of setting intention, winning the day. Because now you've had rest, and now you can start to really see with clear eyes what is it that you need to accomplish. But I truly do believe that if you want to have success in this world, getting up before the sun rises is an essential part of that equation. It's an essential part of that formula for success, for winning the day. Especially if you're feeling behind, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you never have enough time, you have to start making more time. And that means that you have to start being honest with yourself about the time that you're wasting, the time that you're using just mindlessly, either scrolling, tubing out, vegging out, checking out, and start using that as intentional time. And that can be journaling at night, journaling in the morning, listening to positive affirmations, and instead of listening to the news and the destruction and the chaos in this world, fill yourself with a sense of what does it take for you to feel whole and complete inside? What does it take for you to feel solid within, peaceful within, blissful within? I hope that you have a beautiful day. I hope that you'll consider starting a morning routine. And if you're somebody that would like a resource, I have an incredible resource, The Results Kill Excuses, 1% Better Everyday Journal. Click on that link down below. Be mindful of what you say to yourself. If you're telling yourself you're not a morning person, just add these 3 words to the end, these 3 letters. It's yet. I'm not a morning person yet. We can all challenge ourselves in new ways. That's a part of the human experience. And the more that you challenge yourself, I believe the more that you'll grow. The more that you'll allow yourself to get past barriers, old beliefs that do not serve you, to try something new. I'm up early today because I'm picking up my son. He's 16. We're going to go to the International Balloon Fiesta. And it takes waking up early. It takes that level of sacrifice to have that experience. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of success? Sacrifice a little bit of sleep to increase your level of success, your level of self-confidence? What if sacrificing some sleep helped you to improve your health because you were able to really start with the mind, start working on the emotions, getting a more of a spiritual connection, and then even starting to really put yourself in a better state mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that you can then start to eat healthier, so you can start to move in new ways with some intensity, burn a sweat. When was the last time you burned a sweat? Really hitting some intense cardiovascular exercise. It's a powerful thing, and it's something that each and every one of us should be seeking doing to honor and to really allow for these bodies to stay tip-top shape, tip-top performance. Morning routine. Be a morning person. Win the day by starting early, dark and early. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it won't be worth it. Greg's out.